There was a high school soccer game in South Carolina, and there was a bit of a fight between two of the female players. One of them is Annette McCullough. She thought that she was purposely tripped, and here was her response to that.
All right, everybody's having a good soccer game. It's fun. Everything's good. Oh, that looked like a little bit of a trip. Let's see what happens. Damn. All right. All right. All right. Oh, still? Jeez, 'em. All right. Keep the tape going because there's a fun moment in there. Okay. Oh, that's all you have? Oh, damn it. So anyway, she keeps going off the field, and the tape keeps going and going. And then as she's leaving the field, finally the ref pulls out the red card. I was like, yeah, that was only the most obvious red card of all time. I like how he waited all the way to the end, like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and red card. So now look, it's a bit of a TYT Supreme Court here because what was she charged with?
She was charged with third-degree assault and battery.
So should that be third-degree assault and battery? I don't know. See, I'm a little torn on it, okay?
Really? Really?
Really? Why? What's your...
What do you think that was? She grabbed the girl by the hair and punched her repeatedly.
So you think it's obvious that it's third-degree assault and battery?
Yes.
Okay, no, I hear you. No, here's why.
I mean, what do you need to do for it to be third-degree assault and battery?
No. Here's why. Look, I've been involved in a lot of games that broke out in fights. And you remember the story where I was in a rugby game and some dude's choking me from the back and I get up and punch the wrong Asian?
Right. Okay, you've definitely made your point.
Okay,
wow.
All right. And so, I mean, there's choking, there's punching. I mean, that's 1.5 million times, right? You can't go around arresting everybody. On the other hand, I mean, she went on and on and on. So, and then the other thing that gets me is it wasn't that much of a trip. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like if she tripped her, it was like a little bit. Okay, I would say right there, don't arrest her. Now, arrest her. You see what I'm saying? I mean, she won't stop. So.
No, that's unacceptable. You can't do that.
All right, thoughts. Ricky from sports.
Well, it's easy because I covered this story yesterday, and I'm actually taking a poll on TYT Sports whether she was rightfully charged with third-degree assault and battery. So you could cast your vote there. Either way, I don't think you guys mentioned that Annette McCullough, the attacker, is 18. The girl on the other team is 15.
Oh.
So that's one other thing to take into consideration.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's an ass-kicking either way. So, I mean, even if the girl she was beating was 19, I'd still say it was pretty bad.
I'm surprised at how, like, nonchalant you are about this. Like, what she did there was pretty serious. Like, you
No, partly I know that the injuries were minimal. That's
I know.
part, like, that's
okay,
one.
look, the injuries were minimal, but it doesn't matter. You can't grab someone by their hair and punch them repeatedly in the head. No,
I know. But, like, I guess I've been involved in so many fights, and they're girls, and so there wasn't much. I'm unacceptable. I accept that I'm unacceptable, but nonetheless, we move forward to voting. Give me a vote.
Whether or not she should be charged with assault?
Yeah.
No.
What? You see that? I told you. A lot of people are voting no. Chief Justice, what do you vote?
Yeah, I played a lot of sports growing up, and I would say no because it happens in sports. So that's part of the territory. You learn from it, and
okay.
Yeah, go. Give me an example.
The University of New Mexico soccer player from like last year or 2 years ago, the one chick who pulled the other girl's ponytail because one girl elbowed her. It was a fight on the field. The one girl snuck an elbow. The girl responded by yanking on her ponytail, punched her in the back, and eventually got kicked out of the game. When it comes to legal things, we're not on the streets. It's not like someone's walking to the grocery store and you said, I can't believe you pulled my hair after I elbowed you.
Oh my God.
So like all this went down, and the girl from New Mexico in the red, she got kicked out, she got suspended, probably the rest of the season, something like that. It was severe penalties. But she got elbowed, and then she retaliated with like some serious, she said, no, this isn't going down. And later yanked this girl down like this. So, So yeah,
okay.
Did she get assault charges? No.
Maybe she should have. Like, that kind of stuff shouldn't happen just because it's sports. Like, I get it. People get heated. But so you get heated in sports so you can, like, physically assault people?
You know what happened, Anna? You swung me the other way.
Of course I did, because you're the most unreasonable person when it comes to this kind of
no,
stuff.
No. Because look, it's a sports thing. It's not a guy thing. It's not a girl thing. It's so like every.
I didn't know you could assault people in sports, and you're completely immune from the law.
But you partly can. I mean, look at every hockey fight. We're going to arrest all those guys, put them in jail. So now there is a line, though. That's why I think this is such an interesting case. So that's why I think, like, on the 8th punch, I'm beginning to wonder if she should be arrested, because, I mean, like, if she pulled out a knife, then of course well, that's a weapon,
Well,
so
it's
that's
sport.
different.
No, but it's sports. It's
but
sports.
listen.
People get heated.
Right, but there's another thing too. Okay, and of course the trip in this latest video we just did, that was a sports move. But if you're gonna take the street term of things, or at least the law ways on the streets, if you walk up and elbow somebody and you get in a fight with them and you get your ass beat, you're both up for, you're both in a fight. They arrest both people that are fighting when you're fighting in the streets. So when you're on the field and you elbow and it actually gets yanked down by your hair, it's on the sports field. You don't get any punishment, because you started it. Doesn't mean
There
that you
has
have
to
to
be,
get
but
suspended.
here's
It's
Anna's
different.
point.
I don't even know why the field is relevant in any way, shape, or like.
Because
none of you
it's
guys are
physical. It's a physical
No,
sport.
because-
so it's hard to draw the line between what's in
There's a
bounds and what's
difference.
out of bounds.
Okay, but there's a difference between, like, let's say in basketball, you foul someone and you do so too hard. And then there's a difference between that and grabbing someone by the hair and punching them like this repeatedly until someone pulls you off.
How about
I mean,
elbowing
come on.
someone? I mean, that's a fighting move.
I'm curious which way Lorax is going to come out on this. My guess is he's going to want to hug everybody involved, but then there might be some arrest because he's a lip.
Yeah, I think there's a turning point there, because I totally agree with Jesus and JR on that. When you're in it, when you're in the sports, like, I think that one punch, you kind of got to give a pass on that, because you get the heat of the moment, and especially if you get tripped and you fall and it hurts, like, that feeling where you almost can't control it. But it's when she's like holding the hair and then she just keeps going. That's where it crosses the line for me. I'm good with the
That's
one.
what I'm leaning towards, because she seemed to have crossed the line at some point. That's why I was originally going to rule with Anna, but
then her homies are hanging.
Yeah,
Look
okay.
at number 5.
I love Jesus' argument. Did you guys hear that?
man.
He said her homies are hanging, so it's
They just
okay.
leave her hanging. Like, look at her homies going. Like,
Okay.
fuck that.
Okay. See,
So wait. The aggressor shouldn't be arrested because number 5 was too scared to get into the middle of it. That's the worst argument. That argument is a million times
in team
worse.
Sports, when a brawl breaks out, in team sports, everybody gets in. Come on, they're your
that's the difference with
teammates.
this and
I know.
hockey.
Just calm down. But
Okay.
you get my point. That's just a side point. I know.
Okay, all right.
but there's a turning point there where she knocks her on the ground and she hits her like once, and then she like drags her over, and then she really goes for it. And I think that turning point there, that's where you get in trouble.
Yeah.
We can allow a certain degree of fighting,
Listen,
but you can't
Lucas,
just beat
it's
the crap out of
sports,
somebody.
okay? In sports, emotions run wild, so it's acceptable. She should not be charged.
No. Look, last thing on this. Okay, look. When the dude was choking me in rugby, I'm in the bottom of a scrum, so I can't get up, and he's choking me from behind. I'm worried for my life at this point. Okay, I mean, it's a brief moment, but I mean, it wasn't like he let it go in half a second. He was choking me for a while, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if he did that in the street, that's obviously assault and battery. He does it in the middle of a rugby game. There was no way I was going to ask for him to get arrested. Now, I did try to punch him, right? I mean, there's got to be consequences, right? So that's why, if it's on a sports field, it's a little different. But on the other hand, Anna, you're right that at some point, I mean, what else can you do, right? How many elbows can you drop on someone before I got to arrest you? So, if I look at that, I think I'm with Lorax and you. It probably tips me over to, perhaps there should be charges there.